From one depressing topic to another,
Can we stop?
the
We can't stop. We have to keep going.
the state of the Boston Red Sox. And, well, is it Groundhog Day? Well, perhaps it is. The Red Sox losing last night at home, back home at Fenway Park against the Atlanta Braves, losing 4-2 in that game. 4-6. The last 10 games the Red Sox are, they've lost 4 games in a row. They just got
And
swept
in the
by
last
the
20, they are 8-12.
yeah, just got swept by the Detroit Tigers. In Detroit, come back and lose to Atlanta. I was at the game last night, first time this year, and
dragon.
no, I'm just offering my perspective. I was on assignment from the Amazing Grace Sports Network there, and well, we have a lot to talk about in the short amount of time we have remaining here on the show. In the last about 15 minutes so devoted to the Red Sox in the current state as they sit here right now on May the 17th at 22-24, still good enough, you can believe it, to be second place in the American League East and 5 back of the New York Yankees. But, of course, the division, I don't think is in play at this point for the Red Sox. Red Sox 3 back of the wild card right now. And in front of them, well, 3 teams in the American League West, the Houston Astros, Texas Rangers, and a team, Clay, without a home, the Athletics. Not the Oakland Athletics, not the Sacramento Athletics, just the Athletics.
That's right.
With their low payroll, still better than the Boston Red Sox at this point in the season. And you know, folks can say we're overreacting at this point. Folks can say, well, the season is early. There's still a lot of baseball to be played, yada, yada, yada. Quite frankly, I don't want to hear it because I mentioned the term Groundhog Day, and we talked about this on the program last week and have been doing it now. And where this Red Sox team sits, the mediocre play they continue to be in, the malaise that surrounds this current Red Sox team right now, is cause for concern, in my opinion. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it and make the official call here on the Amazing Grace Sports Network. If the Boston Red Sox are to finally make the leap to go back where they should be, and that's playing good, dominant baseball in the American League and throughout the rest of the MLB as well, a change at the helm needs to occur. And in my humble opinion, Alex Cora should be fired as manager.
I agree with you, Kevin. Alex Cora needs to be fired. I am going to place this whole Rafael Devers imbroglio at his feet, in his lap, on his back, however you want to put it. I don't think he's strong enough to the players to tell them what they should do, or he's strong enough to say, listen, if you don't play this position, I will sit you down. Or if things don't get better, I will sit you down. So he is part of the problem. Breslow did his job. Breslow went out and got good players, put them in a good situation. It's up to Cora to do something with them or not, or express his displeasure with them to management so they can back his decision to do whatever he wants. But we have Trevor Story hitting 230. We have Cedar Rafaela hitting 230. We have Devers deciding where he's going to play, what he's going to play, and there's no consequences. There's no, listen, I'm going to sit you down until you get your mind right, or until you come to a better decision here. I'm going to sit you down and play somebody else. I mean, that is the only choice he has. He can't fire them, but he can sit them down and embarrass them. And Cora is playing both sides of the fence. He refuses to do either of any of those things. He leaves them out there no matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter how bad their pitch selection is that they're swinging at with Duran. I mean, this guy's now swinging it above his shoulders. And nobody's sitting him down saying, hey, buddy, I think you're in the slump. You know, I'm going to sit you down and bring someone else in. No, he's hitting 240, 250 now, just going downward. There's no discipline on this team, and it's directly attributable to Alex Cora.
And it's an unfortunate thing to say, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Clay, about Craig Breslow. You know, for years, the way the Red Sox have played post-2021, from 22 to 24 to now, the problems have been with the front office and the ownership, and particularly Chaim Bloom at the time.
Oh, yeah.
I still believe trading Mookie Betts was probably one of the worst trades the Red Sox could ever have made, and probably one of the worst trades in MLB history. Will go down as probably one of the. There have been a lot of trades. I can't say it was the worst trade, but it was up there, one of the worst trades the Red Sox ever could have made trading Mookie Betts to the LA Dodgers. Now, that being said, you can't blame Alex Cora for that. That's neither here nor there. Plus, he was fired a couple weeks later with the whole scandal anyway. But anyway, that being said, Craig Breslow brought in Garrett Crochet. He brought in Alex Bregman. Okay, two guys that have immediately contributed. Crochet on the mound. I know he let up 2 home runs last night. That's the only runs he let up and took the loss because the offense really didn't support him. That being said, Bregman has sparked your offense. You remove those two guys, Clay, from the equation, both Bregman and Crochet. This team is at the cellar of the American League, probably one of the worst teams throughout the league without those two guys.
Correct.
It seems to me the Red Sox cannot go out there and just contribute, and not last night clearly, but when Crochet's on the mound, they can't just sit there and not provide for him. It's just not going to work.
No.
And so to me, again, I said this last week, I'll say it now. When we come back here in the studio in late September, early October, and look at where the Red Sox are, and they're sitting here at 81 and 81, and I hope I'm wrong. Listen, I hope I'm wrong.
81 and 81?
I hope
they're going to be that good?
I hope I'm wrong. Well, right now, that's the way they're trending to be a 500 team.
Yes.
And 500 team doesn't get you anywhere. And these moral victories, I understand as manager, you have to be positive for your team. But every time Cora gets out there, you lose games, this and that. A loss. I don't care if you lose by 1 run. I don't care if you lost by 5 runs. A loss is a loss. When he goes out there and says, I liked our fight, I liked our spirit. Well, every American League team is playing 500 ball right now. I like the way we're playing right now. Cut the crap, because this moral victory nonsense is really getting to me, and it's not working. And the Red Sox did a grand thing on Friday night's game. They changed their uniforms up with their new Green Connect, Green Monster uniforms, whatever it was. Yeah, it looked great. The Red Sox need to change more than their uniforms to continue with the way they're doing, okay? They need to change their way of play, and they need to change the managerial position.
But the only way that they need to change their attitude.
And the attitude.
Yeah, that's only going to change.
There's an attitude
when Cora is gone.
Problem here. And just
attitude problem.
Unpacking Alex Cora's record here with the Red Sox. Okay, in his first year, 108 and 54. You won the World Series in your first year. I give him great credit. Listen, he came in. John Farrell, obviously, his time had come and gone with the Boston Red Sox. There was no doubt about that. But Alex Cora inherited a team that Dave Dombrowski put together, and inherited basically essentially the same team that you had in 2017. Okay, a team that was 93 and 69, won the American League East, and they couldn't get past. It was in 2017. They couldn't get past Houston in the first round. That being said, 2019 he come back, World Series hangover, 84 and 78, not good enough to make the playoffs. 2020 COVID year, he's fired. Comes back 2021, 92 and 70. You get the wild card. You go to the American League Championship Series when a lot of people didn't expect you to. That's great. 22, 78 and 84. 23, 78 and 84. 2024, 81 and 81. Now 22 and 24 here on May 17th.
Doesn't look good.
John Farrell, 2013, he's hired his first year with the Red Sox. 97 and 65, wins the World Series. That sound familiar? Next year, 2014, 71 and 91. 2015, 78 and 84. Now, the 2015 season, I put an asterisk in because John Farrell, he was diagnosed with cancer and was going through a lot. Comes back here, 2016, 93 and 69. 2017, 93 and 69. They win the American League East, but they can't get past Cleveland, and then they can't get past Houston in 16-17 in the American League Division Series. That being said, they made a move. Even after being 93 and 69, they made a move and brought in Alex Cora. That's after winning the American League East.
Right.
They've only won the American League East one time under Alex Cora, and that's when they won the World Series back in 2018.
Yes.
To me, there is a real problem that I have, Clay, with that. A real problem. And I don't know how long we continue to have this conversation, but I think it's picking up steam. I think people are really starting to realize, is Alex Cora the right guy for the Boston Red Sox right now as manager? And I don't believe he is. I truly don't believe he is.
I don't think he is either. I think he's worn out his welcome. I mean, we enjoyed all this, but Alex is, they put on this monster thing when somebody hits a home run. I mean, all that's great and everything, but listen, you're out there to win games. And I know you want it to be fun in games, but it's not fun in games. It's out there to win games.
Right.
And he has not been able to turn the corner on that fact. Okay, and he can't be hard on any of the players. I think what he did with Tanner Hook the other, and I said this before we got on there, was it's almost criminal. I mean, because your job is not to leave him out there. Your job is to win games. Okay, and if he gives up 3, 4 runs, it's time to give him the hook. Don't leave him out there to give up 10 runs. I don't care what your reasoning is. Your reasoning, it doesn't matter. You're there to win games, Alex Cora. And so you have to pull this guy and get somebody else in there. If it depletes your bullpen, what have you got? You're just giving up the game to lose? Well, that's not the way to manage the team. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. And if anybody else wants to join in on this, 844-249-5247, 844-249-5247. How do you feel about Alex Cora going forward?
You mentioned Tanner Hook, where they placed on the injured list after with an alleged forearm strain. You know, you can't put someone on the injured list for just pitching poorly. You have to come up with an injury, and he said it best. Tanner did, and you feel bad for him. He said he's lost it there, and he has stunk. He's been terrible, really terrible to start the year, and hopefully this stint will allow him to come back and pitch the way we expect him to, and we'll see. But you know, this team's in trouble, and until a significant move is made, and it starts with the manager. It starts with the manager, and the way in the offseason and spring training, the whole Bregman Devers situation was handled. Now the situation with Devers not wanting to play first base, the attitude problem exists, Clay. There's no doubt about it. And I don't want to have a manager that sweet talks the players and sweet talks the fans. Well, we lost by 1 run. We got walked off on. We got swept by the Detroit Tigers. But hey, we got out there and competed. You know, if Alex Cora is going for a participation trophy, well, congratulations. He must lead the league in giving out participation trophies.
I'll give him one myself.
Because if that's the way we stand right now, we're in real trouble. And watching this Red Sox team, Clay, as I had in previous years, even when the Red Sox didn't make it past Houston and didn't make it past Cleveland in those division series that I talked about in 16 and 17, when they had a great regular season and they won the American League East, you know, it felt to me watching those teams, especially offensively, when they come to bat, they come to play. Yeah. When I see this team right now, besides Bregman and maybe Duran, Abreu at times, sometimes Trevor Story when he feels like hitting, you know, to me, it doesn't feel that same mentality the Red Sox had 7-8 years ago.
No grit.
There's no grit. There's no grit with this team. And, you know, Breslow did what he needed to do. And I think Breslow now has a mandate. He has a mandate to make a move, and his next move needs to be with the manager.
Well, Mr. Breslow, I hope you're listening. I believe you do have a mandate. So we will see. AGSN, the Major League Sports Network, believes that, well, I think you've gone as far as you can go with Mr. Cora. We will see. Listen, we're not prognosticators. We can only give our opinions. But this team is just muddling, and nobody seems to care out there on the team. It seems to be business as usual. There's no sense of urgency.
As I'm telling you, John Farrell, three division titles, 1 World Series. Alex Cora, 1 World Series, 1 division title.
Well, how much?
We've got about a minute and 50.
Minute 50. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have to say goodbye to the Celtics for the season.
On a happier note, you know, maybe next week, Clay, you and I, the Celtics, the Patriots' regular season schedule has been released, and maybe we can unpack that next week. Let's set that for an agenda item next week.
Yeah,
we'll go through the schedule and try to think of happier thoughts for the Patriots.
We're going to stay after this depression stuff like the Celtics and the Red Sox. Unless the Red Sox pick it up and do something, they will just get 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes next week. And we're just going to focus on the happy things in life. We're going to go for that.
We can only hope. And listen, I think I'll speak for Clay as well. And I hope we're wrong. Listen, I hope the Red Sox do pick it up because they owe it to all of us to do that. And let's see. Let's see what happens.